Hi, my name is Kyla and I'm a senior at Sheldon Clark High School. And for this week's informational speech, I chose to do mine on serial killers. Because Halloween is coming up and there's so many movies based around them, I thought it would be fun to do some research and inform everybody on them. Urges. Everyone has them, whether it's to scream because of road rage or to pull your hair out while you're doing your homework. But what separates society is the people that control these urges and the people that act upon them. Serial killers claim to have an uncontrollable urge to kill or murder. But what classifies someone as a serial killer exactly? According to definition, it is someone who has killed more than 3 people due to a psychological reason, usually a reason that no one knows about. This is why when serial killers are revealed, their friends and family find out and say, "What happened? They were so normal." It's important for us to know what distinguishes somebody as a serial killer in order to avoid them. First step in identifying a serial killer is to determine their motives. Killers are classified into categories by 4 different types of motives: visionary, mission-oriented, hedonistic, and control. Visionary killers commit murder by the instruction of an internal voice, whether it be an alter ego or if they believe God or the devil is telling them to commit these acts. These are the most common and well-documented types of serial killers. Mission-oriented killers believe they were sent on Earth to rid the world of a person that they deem bad or unworthy of life, similar to Hitler and the Jews during World War II. Usually these killings are pre-planned and executed the best. Hedonistic killers, also known as lust killers, receive sexual gratification from murder. The amount of sexual gratification they receive depends upon the amount of torture they inflict upon their victims. They usually trick their victims with a trap of some sort. For example, Ted Bundy, a famous serial killer, used to go into the grocery store and walk out with a lamp or a cane or an umbrella such as this, pretend they were using it for support, and then ask women to help him back to his car. When they got close enough, he would push them in and then abduct them. Control serial killers derive pleasure from playing God or having control over someone's life and when they are able to end it. Cannibalism is often associated with this type of serial killer because they see it as a way of getting power from someone else's body into their own. Similar to hedonistic killers, these killers do rape their victims. However, they do not do it for sexual gratification. They just see it as another way to dominate someone. In order to not become a victim of a serial killer, it is important to understand the links between these killers and their victims. In 37% of the cases, these killers killed someone that they never knew, just complete strangers. But more often than not, they go after a specific type of person. John Wayne Gacy Jr. used to seek after young boys, specifically under the age of 13, and he would get them by dressing up as a clown for birthday parties and then luring the boys back home with him. Identifying specific traits in children may help with preventing serial killers as well. One of the strongest warning signs is kids who like to torture or kill small animals. One of the main points of being a serial killer is to have control. When you're a small child, you can only have control over something smaller than you are, such as a squirrel or a duck or a cat, etc. Many also suffer from abuse, whether it be physical, sexual, mental. These acts leave these kids feeling bitter and a hatred towards the world that they never learn how to control or cope with. Also, kids who have family problems or people in their family that are mean to them usually end up to be serial killers, and they use those people as their first victims. While it is important for us to study these killers and know what defines a serial killer, it is important that we no longer continue to glamorize them. Think about it. When we hear of a killing, do we hear the names of the victims? Yes, but not nearly as much as we hear the name of the killer. We are promoting that if you do such a horrendous crime, that's a surefire way to get your name out there, to receive publicity, and sometimes that's all these killers want, is for people to know who they are. There is no question as to why we're so fascinated by these monsters. While most of us can never understand committing these heinous acts, it provides us a form of entertainment to even imagine what provokes these people. Now that we know what classifies these killers, we have the knowledge to try and avoid them. Thank you.